All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. Glad you could join us. Ron Futrell from Channel 8 Sports will be joining us coming up in hour number 2. Vegas Golden Knights taking on the San Jose Sharks in San Jose. Game 7, do-or-die game. So we will be talking about that. Also, I want to get to Mr. Luke Walton, accused of sexual assault. We'll get to all that stuff. Of course, the number to call if you want to be a part of the program is 257-5396. President Trump meeting with Twitter chief executive Jack Dorsey today, because I'm sure there's not more important things to talk about. But earlier today, I should say, Trump tweeted that Twitter is very discriminatory and does not treat me well as a Republican. That's what he said. For years, prominent Republicans and right-wing media personalities have repeatedly made unfounded accusations that Twitter and other social media platforms are biased against conservative users. Completely and utterly ridiculous. The crybaby in chief taking to Twitter, attacking Twitter. Why wouldn't he attack Twitter? He's attacked everybody else. So he met with Jack Dorsey. This was hours, again, after he accused the social media company of discriminatory behavior, which is completely untrue. And he went on to Twitter, and he also said lots of subjects discussed regarding their platform and the world of social media in general. Yeah, I'm sure that's why he met with them, to talk about social media in general, the commander-in-chief. No, he met with him because he thinks he's being treated unfair. Again, the crybaby-in-chief, whining about everything, attacking everybody. It's just completely and utterly ridiculous.
I don't think that Twitter is so much biased. I do think that that Google has a bit of a bias, as does Facebook. But let's be honest, the next 3 presidents are probably going to have significantly very, very large social media followings.
Well, perhaps.
So I don't blame him for having that conversation, but I think that Twitter is the wrong route to go.
Yeah, and meeting with this guy, just a complete and utter waste of time. Just a waste of taxpayer dollars. Let's just put it that way. Again, the number to call, 257-5396. Let's go to Joe. Joe, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
What's up, Joe?
Hey guys, listen. Before we start, I just want to say, "Go Knights, go!" Man, we got to do it.
That's right. Yeah, it's a big game tonight. Absolutely.
It is. Well, anyways, thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I was listening to you guys earlier, and I haven't seen, or heard about what Sanders said about, his proposal about what was that? Letting felons vote.
Yeah. If the question was, would you allow somebody like the Boston bomber to vote, for example, right? And his response basically was yes. He thinks that, my opinion is, if you're a felon but you've paid your debt to society, you're not in jail anymore, I think you should be allowed to vote, even though voting is a privilege. But he seems to think that if you are behind bars and a convicted felon, no matter who you are, you should be allowed to vote, and I completely disagree.
Well, I'm with you there, brother. I'm gonna tell you this though, man. If his reason is because we have a low voter turnout, I think that the answer is rather, finding a better representation of America than what we have right now,
right,
and in the past. If you would, in our last presidential election, all right, what we have, like over 300 million people.
Yeah.
300 million people in America, and that was the best we got.
Well, maybe my only comment here is maybe perhaps Bernie Sanders thinks that maybe he has a policy to give free commissary candy to people behind bars, and maybe he thinks that's how he'll get some votes. Anyway, thank you for the call, Joe. I appreciate it. Good to hear from you. 257-5396, the number to call again, 257-5396. Let's go to Merrick. Merrick, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
All right. For every then I happen to tune into your program. And
okay.
It's always the same thing.
What do you mean?
You're bashing Trump.
What are you talking about? We were just talking about Bernie Sanders.
We're tired of it. I know. Look,
were you listening for 30 seconds?
The program is bashing Trump.
Okay,
Why?
Merrick, are you going to let me respond? First of all, the first 20 minutes in the first segment, we were talking about Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren.
Okay,
so let me get this right. You just tuned in.
And Merrick, I was very, very complimentary towards Donald Trump.
You just tuned in, but yet you want to make a claim that for the entire show, all I'm doing is bashing Trump. What are you talking about?
I've listened to you in the past.
So because you've listened in the past. What are you talking about? Okay, give me an example of something I've said about Donald Trump that you think is over the line.
Everything.
No. I'm asking you to be specific.
Listen, Have you said anything positive
I'm
about
asking you
him?
to be specific.
Have you said one thing positive?
You won't answer my question, Merrick. Why don't you answer my question before I answer yours? Give me one specific thing that I've said about Donald Trump that you think is negative and over the line in bashing. I'm waiting.
All right, you think he's not presidential? The last time I
Be specific. Be
you said
specific.
he's not presidential.
Would you like?
What do you want for a president?
You know what? 90% of Republicans would agree that he's not presidential.
Look what we've had the last
So hold
8 years.
on, Merrick. You think I'm bashing Trump because I said he's not presidential? Are you serious or are you nuts?
The way you wait a minute, come here. The way you're talking about him.
Be specific.
He's not good enough.
I'm going to ask you for the 10th time to say something. Give me a specific example.
All I'm saying to you is.
All I'm saying to you is be specific and give me an example.
Name one.
I'm not going to answer one of your questions until you answer one of mine. Be specific. What have I said that is bashing?
Name one good.
You can't answer my question, can you? Because you're a right-wing.
Hey, just say he has a pretty wife.
Yeah, you can't answer my question, can you, Merrick? Because you're a right-wing bias hack.
Come here. You tell me one good thing that Trump
You
has
haven't
done.
answered my question.
Can you tell me one good thing?
I'll tell you what. I'll answer your question if you promise to answer mine. What do you think about that? That's the way it works on this show.
All right, go ahead. What's your
Okay.
question?
Name me one thing that I've ever said on this show that you think is over the line or quote-unquote bashing when it comes to Donald Trump. I'll wait.
The way you talk about him all the time.
The way I talk about him is not specific. What is wrong with you? Are you an idiot? I'm asking you to be specific.
I'm being specific. You're like seeing.
Okay, so obviously, you know what? Obviously, you can't answer that question. But you know what? You tried to answer it. You failed, but I'll still answer yours.
Please.
Go ahead. I'll answer your question. What would you like to ask me? Unlike you, I'll answer it.
All right, name one
dope.
good thing that you like about Trump. One good thing.
He's entertaining. He generates ratings. He always gives me something to talk about. Now, I see how I answered. Do you see how I just answered your question?
As a president, what has he done that's good for the country?
I think unemployment numbers are down. Minorities are working. I think the economy is doing very well, and I give him credit for that. You see how I answered your question, and you can't answer one of mine?
What do you want out of a president?
So I just answered your question.
Like Hillary Clinton?
Would you like?
You want a socialist like Bernie Sanders?
First, are you gonna let me answer?
Do you want a socialist?
Are you gonna
want this to be a
are you gonna let me answer?
country?
Merrick, do you know who I voted for?
No, I don't.
Yeah. No crap. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. I've never voted for Bernie Sanders. So why don't you be factual and why don't you learn how to answer a damn question?
See, now you're getting mad. I don't know why you're getting mad.
Because you sound like a clown.
Fun.
Yeah. You sound like a lot of fun. Jeez.
Merrick, thank you for the call.
He can't even answer a question, JD. If you're going to accuse me of something, answer a question.
He hung on. He took your wrath. Good call, Merrick. Good call.
Did I not answer his question?
You did.
I answered it. It took me 2 seconds to answer it. 1 second. I'll answer a question. But if I ask you something and you accuse me of something, this isn't about bashing. This isn't about bashing Donald Trump. This isn't about being quote-unquote negative. It's about being honest. I'm sorry if you want to listen to somebody that says things that makes you happy and you agree with everything. That's not how the world works. There are plenty of things that Donald Trump does on a regular basis. Today is another example where he erroneously complains about Twitter, saying that they're discriminatory and they don't treat me well because I'm a Republican. There's absolutely no facts to back that up. And then he meets with this guy. It is an embarrassment to the country. And I'm not going to give 150 more reasons why I don't like Donald Trump. I answered his question. There are some things he's done that I like, that I think are positive, that are good. But if you can't be specific, then you sound like a clown. Don't accuse me of bashing. This isn't about bashing. This is about being honest, about giving my opinions. Would you accuse me of bashing Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren? Because for the first 20 minutes of this show, I was against what they were saying. Bernie Sanders wants felons to vote that are behind bars. I disagree with that. Elizabeth Warren wants to tax people making $50 million a year or more, 2%, to pay off student loan debt. I disagree with that. I've never voted for Elizabeth Warren. I've never voted for Bernie Sanders. Does it mean I'm bashing them? That's the problem with politics today. If you critique anybody, you're either bashing them or you're a liberal or you're a right-wing nut. That's the problem with politics today. Hypocrisy.
Disagreeing and having your own opinion is not arguing. There's two huge differences there.
Yes, I agree with that. 257-5396, the number to call again, 257-5396. Go to Jimmy. Jimmy, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
How you doing today? Listen, I was just curious. Do you think the country's better off today with Trump as president or if Hillary won?
Impossible question for me to answer. Impossible.
Easy
That's hypothetical.
question.
No, it's not. It's hypothetical.
significantly better.
I can't answer that question. That's a hypothetical. I have no idea. I really don't know.
It's kind of a simple question. Yes,
Well,
no,
you think
question.
you
I don't think
that's
it's
your
complicated.
That's your opinion. You think it's simple. I don't. I don't know how Hillary Clinton would have done it. I tell you one thing. I didn't vote for her. I didn't vote for him. I thought they're both lousy candidates.
For one thing, we wouldn't have found out how crooked the deep state is.
So you don't think Donald Trump or anybody in his administration are crooked? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying we wouldn't have found out how crooked the deep state is.
Well, you know what? Most politicians are crooked. Most politicians on the left and the right are crooked.
How do you say that? How do you know that?
How do I say that? How do I know that? Because
that's just an opinion.
Oh, it's just an opinion. So Donald Trump isn't. He tells the truth. He's not corrupt at all.
No, the guy. That's his style. He built.
So his style, you're okay with him lying, and you're okay with him lying, and you're okay with him asking other people in his administration to lie for him. That's just his style.
I don't think he should lie.
Do you have any kids, Jimmy?
He's an exaggerator.
So Jimmy, do you have kids? If your kids were labeled as liars, you just say, well, that's just their style. I brought them up. I raised them just to do whatever they want to do. It's their style. That's a ridiculous excuse for bad behavior.
I'm just telling you how the guy is.
Well, I'll tell you how he is too.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Well, banging porn stars after his wife just had a child, I guess that's his style too, huh? So that's okay, right?
Evidently.
Yeah, that's his style. So it's all right, right? It's okay.
But you can't even answer a simple question.
I just answered your question, and you asked me who would have been a better president. I don't know if Hillary Clinton would have been a good president or not. It's impossible for me to answer that question. I don't know.
You think there would have been a major cover-up of all this nonsense with Comey and,
you know what?
and Brennan and Clapper and all these clowns?
What do you mean? What do you mean cover-up?
They conspired to take Donald Trump.
Donald Trump conspired to take them down. Donald Trump conspired to fire Comey. He fired Comey because of the Russian investigation.
Free information.
He fired Comey because of the Russia investigation. How is that not conspiring? How is that not?
He looked into the WikiLeaks thing.
Oh,
please! That's the only way we were going to get.
He loved the
from our government.
Right.
Get it from left-wing radio.
I understand. That's just his style. By the way, Jimmy, I'm not on the left. I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton. So would you like to say anything else that's not factual before I let you go? What else would you like to say that's not factual that makes you sound like a complete and total imbecile? What else would you like to say? Do you know my? Well, yeah.
That's what you're best at is calling people names.
Good, thank you. Send me a medal. You're an imbecile. Goodbye. Send me a medal through the mail. You are an imbecile. You're right. I am good at that. I'm also good at telling the truth, and I'm also not biased, and I'm logical. You forgot to put those in there. 257-5396. Let's go to Wilfried. Wilfried, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
What's up, Wilfried?
Well, let's see. I don't know where to begin anymore, but first of all, the problem with presumptive negative discussions they become a vortex of a downward spiral that you can't get out of. So
no, I can get out of them.
Remember this: a moment on the lips, a lifetime on the heart. That's a true saying. I would like to talk about something else, like 300 to 500 teenagers looting in downtown Chicago. You don't think that's a phenomenal event? That's
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
3 or 5 teenagers looting. People loot everywhere.
That's because you talk about Trump all the time.
So I'm supposed to know about 3 or 5 teenagers looting in Chicago. That's what you want to talk about.
3 to 500.
Oh, okay. You said 3 to 5.
3 to 500 black teenagers.
Why is it you always go after African Americans when you call into the show?
Okay.
Just stick with the age. Don't worry about the race.
Why are you obsessed with the color of somebody's skin? Yesterday you called into the show. You called them blacks. This isn't the 1800s.
Yeah, and you love to say the word blacks.
Yeah. Why is it that you obsess over somebody's race?
This is amazing. You accuse it. You ambush me with some accusatory remarks.
Every single time you call into the show, you mention black.
It's not much of an ambush.
After you chewed me
it's
out,
not an ambush.
You said you hurt.
Hey, Wilfried, Bob, you're a very, very intelligent guy, and you're an eloquent speaker. Just lay off the racial undertones, please.
Thank you. That's my co-host, who's a Republican. I agree with him.
So, I don't care if he's a Republican. This is about
okay, well, I do care if people call in that are racist. I do care about that. Goodbye. I don't want to hear from you anymore. Every time you call in, you want to mention black people. You are a racist, Wilfried. Okay, you just are. I don't care how smart you are or how eloquent you are when you talk. I believe you are a racist. 257-5396. Carlos, you're next. What's up?
What's up, Carlos?
I think we just lost Carlos. Let's go to Dave. Dave, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Yo, I just want to do some self-promotion, my man. Hey, listen, all those people who said they wanted to move out of the country when Trump becomes the president, I just want to give out my name and my realtor office for them to come visit me, and let's place those houses on the market.
Who was it?
Get them the hell out of here.
Cher. Didn't Cher say that? She said she was going to move to
Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus.
Well, look, they're all full of crap.
Many people. Let's
Dave,
sell
did
their
you?
houses.
Dave,
That's all I had to say. Let's get them out of here.
Well, look, I mean, Dave, you make a good point. Those people never were. I never took them seriously. I don't know if you did. They're just idiots. They were saying, "I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave the country if Trump." We all knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I disliked Obama. I stuck around. I never said I'm going to leave the country.
Well, because you're logical. Because you're a logical person, Dave. That's why.
Yes, sir. That's all I had to say.
Thanks, Dave. Good to hear from you. Okay. 257-5396. Again, the number to call, 257-5396. Why is my co-host going nuts? Can you say on the air
I'm
what
fine. We're good.
Okay, what is going on? You're having convulsions. What's going on?
I had a minor seizure.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Are you okay?
I just need a little water.
All right. Maybe it was
We'll
Wilfred.
get some water at the break.
257-5396. Let's go to Dan. Dan, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind, Dan?
What's up, Dan?
Dan, are you there? Yes, Dan. Go ahead. You're on.
Okay. You have a great show. I listen after Rush, Sean Hannity, and Mark Levin.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'd like to hear your side of the of the argument. Excuse me.
Sure.
That's a nice
two
dynamic.
Things. One on the Twitter. You were mentioning the Twitter with
Yes,
Donald
sir.
Trump.
Yes, sir.
I believe that there was a bias on Twitter. I had a Twitter account for like 3 or 4 years, and I followed technology. And then in like 2015, I made a positive comment on Trump's campaign, and then Twitter asked me to forward a copy of my driver's license. It just seems unreasonable.
Well, that seems a little bit bizarre. I don't think they do that with every Trump supporter, because if they did, it would certainly be a huge story, Dan. Did they give you a reason?
They wanted me to verify, whatever. They wanted me to provide the phone number, copy of the license, and all that. So it seems
well, that's
like they
bizarre.
were trying to. It is bizarre.
I mean, did
so
you
obviously,
mention
I
bombs or anything like that? Did you say any keywords there that could have set them off? Because I never heard of that before in my life.
No, just it was something with the economy. It was 2015. I don't remember. The second thing I wanted to talk about was the Vegas Golden Knights. They're a great team, and I wish they would broadcast on regular TV because I'm a cord cutter. I don't know what's your take on that.
What do you mean broadcasting on regular TV? They do broadcast the games on TV. I'm confused.
Well, they broadcast it on cable, but a lot of people are cable cutters, so I got to go on the dark web.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, unfortunately, Dan, there's a lot of money to be made, and that's just never going to happen, my man. We all know that. I mean,
that's a shame.
Yeah, well, I hear what you're saying. In a perfect world, that'd be nice. I mean, there are some local teams across the country where they actually have blackouts. I mean, we can't even watch Dodgers games here, right? I mean, it's completely and utterly ridiculous, Dan. Look, in a perfect world, I hear what you're saying. I wish we could just get that $8 antenna and get the hockey games, but unfortunately, that's just not going to work, my man. But let's see what happens with the Golden Knights. I'll tell you what I want to talk about next. I do want to talk a little bit more about Twitter. I want to talk about one of President Trump's top picks to serve on the Federal Reserve Board. You're not going to believe what he said about women. This is totally and utterly disgusting. It's unbelievable. Stephen Moore, economic commentator and former Trump campaign advisor. Remember when Donald Trump said, "I only hire the best"? He did say that, didn't he? You're not going to believe what this guy said about women. I mean, I'm laughing because it's so utterly ridiculous, and I'm going to tell you exactly verbatim. I'm not making it up. Tell you exactly what he said. Coming up next, it's ridiculous. And, of course, we'll take all your phone calls at 257-5396. Again, that number, 257-5396. Ron Futrell from Channel 8 Sports will be joining us coming up in the second hour. Talk a little Vegas Golden Knights hockey. That's right. It is do or die time. Game 7 in San Jose. The puck drops in about 10 minutes or so. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So we'll take, go ahead, JD. You looked like you wanted to say something. Then you did. We got 10 seconds.
And big news, we may have a really, really polarizing guest coming on next week.
All right. We'll talk about that coming up next. Number to call, 257-5396. Take your calls when we come back. You are listening to The Vegas Take.